So just upgrading a factory Glock trigger here. Going with my preferred solution for aftermarket triggers, which is the Ghost Tactical 5.0 connector. Figure since I got a brand new Glock 45 fresh out of the box, this is a great time to do a side-by-side comparison of the performance that you can expect to get out of about $20 investment and probably about 30 minutes of your time if you know what you're doing. So what we'll do here is we'll just start with the factory trigger. It's everything you either love or hate about a Glock trigger. This one is the epitome of it. So there's the feeling of a pretty stout wall. So for most shooters, this is going to be their stopping point if they're prepping the trigger. The problem is you see is at the wall here, look at all this extra creep that you get before the physical break of the trigger. So that's a lot of slop. That's a lot of travel after the wall that I personally don't like. Again, if you're a person that preps the trigger or even smashes through the trigger, there could be some timing disruptions here with having this much travel ultimately after the break. The other thing on the factory Glock triggers is the reset is not to love. That's a lot of travel there to get back to the reset point of the trigger. Again, that's a significant amount of travel. So brand new out of the box Glock 45. This has a total of 0 rounds put through it. So I figured this would be the best test case to see the performance you get out of really just a connector upgrade. So again, there's our wall. There's all that travel after the wall. There's finally the break. And then here's that really long reset. So put a quick pull meter on this thing just to see what this is breaking at. So there's 410. Do it one more time just to see what we get. There's a 413, so pretty consistent right there in the 4 pounds 10 ounces arena. So let's pull this thing apart. Just so happened to have the trigger kit that I was doing for a buddy. You can see here's the Ghost Tactical connector. It's obviously been fitted specific to this trigger, to this frame. Also, why I had this trigger out, I figured I'd just give it a nice high gloss polish. It definitely helps quite a bit. I put some good bearing grease in between the trigger bar and the connector, just to ensure that this thing ends up being as smooth as humanly possible. So let's get this thing dropped in real quick. Immediate feel improvement right away. You know, definitely a stout wall, far less over travel after the wall, and the reset is lightning fast. So let's take a close look at that. Here we have the take up to the wall. Again, here's the wall. There's your break, and that reset is right there. And again, the break. Again, take up to the wall, travel after the wall, minimal. That reset, that's pretty dang quick. Once again, Ghost Tactical 5.0, quick polish job, and immediately you have a far better trigger than the OEM solution. So let's take a look and see what the pull meter says here. So that broke right at 5.5, which to me felt like it hung up a little bit. Let's try that again. There we have a 413. So exactly the same as OEM. If this is your EDC, if this is your carry gun, there's no issue with running this trigger. As a matter of fact, this is the trigger setup that I run in my personal EDC, and one that I recommend for anybody looking for some improvement out of a Glock trigger.